So I finished my brim for my beanie, for my third beanie, remembering that this one is the two different colours which I'm knitting out of the leftovers of the first two beanies. So I've done a pebble one and a stone one, so you can see how they look finished. So nice and soft too. And now I've got the two yarns double stranded in the two different colours. Because I'm using the leftovers, I have used up the first lot of the two different colours, and now I need to join the next lot that's left. You don't have to do that on the plain coloured ones because there's enough on the ball to do the full beanie without joining any more. So for this one I'm just going to show you how we join in the next two. So I've knitted up to the beginning of round marker, and I'm joining at that point. So even if you've got some length still left, just snip it off to about a 15 centimetre tail. It's best to join at that point because that's where we've started, and so it's on the back or the side of the beanie, and it just looks tidier rather than in the middle of our work. So I've got the ends of the yarns that I am now joining. So again, about a 15 centimetre tail, and I've put my right needle into the bottom of the first stitch there, and I'm just going to hold those strands underneath firmly, and I've got the working yarns in my right hand, and I'm just going to simply start knitting with them. Because I'm holding them underneath like that, they're not going to slide around. So over the right hand tip and back through and knit off, and then we're going to continue on. So this is also obviously how we do the body of the beanie. So you can see I've already done some length there. It's just the knit stitch all the way around. So for our brim we did purl and then knit, purl and then knit, and repeated that to get that brim there. So for the body we are just knitting round and round, no purl, very straightforward up until we're ready to do our decreases. Okay, so I'm still holding those strands underneath, and I'm going to do another stitch, and then I can let those go and carry on and do the full round, and then I will come back and show you what it looks like when I get to the other end. So just once again I'm doing just knit stitches, and when we do just knit stitches knitting circular, that's called stocking stitch or stockinette stitch, and it just creates that lovely marbled effect with the two different colours together. So the knit stitch again is right hand tip goes into the bottom of the first stitch, and the two tips cross over, so the right hand tip one is underneath. Got the working yarn held together, wrap it round the bottom tip, pull it back, hold it, slide our right tip back and up and off into the next stitch, wrap that round, slide that tip back, up and off into the next stitch, wrap that round, slide that tip back, up and off, and keep moving your stitches around up to the tips of your needles. You'll find it easier to work when they're closer to the end of your needles. And so I will come back shortly when I get to the end of this round. I'm coming back to my beginning of round marker, finishing that first round after joining our yarns. Here we go. So that was our last one. Now that's going to feel a bit loose because that's where we joined. So we'll just knit that one slowly and move our marker. So we're ready to start the next round, which is just, as I said before, knitting all the way around. You can now just pull on those ends just to tighten everything up. And later on at the end we will weave those ends in, but at the moment they're fine just as they are. You don't need to put a knot in them or anything. We're just going to continue knitting, and each time you come back around, just for the next couple of rounds, just pull on those just to tighten any gap there, and away we go. So even when after the first stitch I can tighten that again, so you can see that they're nice and tidy now, and you hold them again underneath if you want for the next couple of stitches, and away we go, and we are going back around. And that's how we join in a second ball of each colour.